It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday night.
Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
Hurts throwing right away. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early second down and long. Here's Hurts to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl and came really within 1 quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
Goff in this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10. Just shy of the 30. A man who was the Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs up past the 30. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
From the 31, here's 2nd down and 8. Another run for Gibbs here. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now 3rd down and 7. From the gun, here's Goff. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 35. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing again is Goff. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Here now, 2nd and 4. Goff. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And the Lions are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here.
And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Tim Patrick from 4 yards out. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Now for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. A 10-play drive that time, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. This one deep into the landing zone, returnable from the 2-yard line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3 and out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Here's Goff. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Nolan Smith showing some burst there to catch him behind the line.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there Some linebackers can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, 78 yards. And the Lions have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You've just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
From the gun, it's Hurts. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Up the middle with Barkley. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg? and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal. Hurts sets up to throw it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And they'll run for it with Barkley. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Saquon Barkley. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Well, I mean, down early here in this first half, I think they felt their backs were against the wall already, so they go for it on 4th and goal, and they're able to punch it into the end zone.
And they did a nice job there, feeling like their backs were against the wall, but going ahead and hunkering down and pushing forward and getting that score. That continues to give them an opportunity.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10. At their own 26. In motion left goes a tight end. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
He'll get this one to Patrick. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. In motion goes the tight end. Goff now to throw. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that will bring up second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Second down and 4. To the air again. Goff. St. Brown making the catch on the out route. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
He's got this to Williams, complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff with his third touchdown pass of the afternoon as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball, or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Here's Hurts to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Here's 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Well, now hang on here because Saquon Barkley is in some discomfort, so we're going to have a pause here for an injury. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up second down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. 2nd down and 8. They'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard, and he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Target is to Dotson, and he's got him.
So the completion good for just 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And this one complete to Smith.
And Devontae going to pick up the Eagles' 1st down as he's down inside the 15.
That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Throwing is Hurts.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this 1st half. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Another try after the 1st down sack. Hurts out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. And with just 4 seconds left in this 1st half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. Offensively, pretty good execution. Long drive, chews up the remainder of the 1st half clock, and they finish it off with 3 points.
And what's the best byproduct of the whole thing besides the fact that they got points on the board? They didn't leave the other team any time to mount a drive themselves.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Lions offense and Jared Goff set to take over once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Gibbs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Goff. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense and running back Saquon Barkley ready to get going again. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Back to throw here. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Back to throw now on 1st down. On the move past the 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Barkley, inside handoff. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. Hurts.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll send a receiver in motion left.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. The kick by Elliott is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game.
So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Lions offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now gone. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Gone.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt.
And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when we decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts.
He'll get this out to Barkley, complete.
And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 35.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and
he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Grant Calcaterra.
29 yards.
And the Eagles are back within a couple of the lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Eagles offense staying out there. Of course, Hurts always a threat to run. They'll go for 2.
They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And now he's going to go down. A big sack, and they're unable to tie it.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A 3rd quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe 1st or 2nd, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to, I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Jamison Williams and the Lions get set for this next possession.
He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, third quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us.
And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
In motion right, that's Williams.
Out of the gun, gone.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop him.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Here's Williams to return. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6.
It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Over the middle here to Brown.
And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles 1st down as the tackle made down at the 33.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's a give to Barkley.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 58 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. His throw incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
He's near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. The kick by Elliott is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And still fighting. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. And Detroit back in possession of the football. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gibbs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Goff now looks to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Takes this to the 45. Not much space after that broken tackle.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Now Goff. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Umpire threw the flag. Usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll get this one to Patrick. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Goff.
That's complete to Laporta.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
To throw is Goff.
Going underneath, Gibbs has it.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll run with Gibbs.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
I think what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
From the gun, here's Goff.
Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given. And it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field.
Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 20-yard line.
He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley.
A gain of 3, second down. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Got him in. It's Brown. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Here's Hurts to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A dime look defensively for the Lions on third.
Throwing is Hurts. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that should do it. He's got a first down. And the Eagles, they can run it out from here.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory.
Hurts down to one knee, and that should just about do it.
And how about this finish? Able to take a knee, run out the clock, and close this game out by 1 point. You talk about how many coaches we talked to? They all said the same. All I want to do is win by 1 point. That got tested in this one.
Yep, and that cliche rings true. A single penny separates this one.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.